Good morning. I made it out here to the Indian Peaks Wilderness area, and today I'm going to be heading up Mount Audubon and Paiute Peak. I think it's going to be two 13,000 foot peaks. It looks like it's going to be somewhere around 9 miles, 4,000 vert, or somewhere along those lines. I'll let you know what it looks like at the end of the day. But it's around 7 o'clock right now. Absolutely gorgeous morning. Been a beautiful drive up here from Boulder, and can't wait to get started. I'm out here on the trail. I've decided to do this loop counterclockwise up Mount Audubon first. Seems like it's a more gradual uphill and then some really steep scree on the way down, and I prefer to do that down personally. I'll let you know how it goes. One thing to note is you do need a permit to come up to the Indian Peak Wilderness area up here. And I think they're available 2 weeks ahead of time, and they're pretty tricky to get, so you gotta definitely plan accordingly. I'm just starting to pop out beyond the tree line here, starting to get into that alpine zone. I believe the trailhead starts around 10,000 feet, and I forgot what the highest peak is, but we're gonna be 13 something for 2 different peaks. And from here, you can kind of see the route I'm gonna take. I'm gonna be taking this ridge line up all the way here on my left-hand side, and then I'm gonna drop down to a saddle and then come back through the valley, hitting, I think, the Blue Lake chain on the way. Absolutely gorgeous up here. Haven't seen a single person on this trail, so let's get going. While I'm enjoying this beautiful view, I just wanted to ask you to like and subscribe if you like this kind of video. For me right now, just starting to do this, like that kind of feedback means a lot and kind of gives me the motivation to keep going and would be greatly appreciated. I'm so happy there's a few clouds today. It's making this whole hike cooler and way more dramatic in terms of the views. Stopping for a little bite to eat. I've been usually really bad at eating, or I won't eat anything and eventually I cramp up, so I'm starting to get smarter, slowly. Maybe. Don't quote me on that. Well, continuing to be absolutely gorgeous up here. The light is incredible. I got Long's Peak over here in the distance, which I think I'm gonna be hiking here in 2 weeks. And I'm getting kind of close to the summit cap here, Mount Audubon. Just up here in this kind of high alpine tundra. There's literally hundreds of pikas and marmots everywhere. The most I've ever seen. I'm almost overwhelmed. I had to stop looking at each one because I would be up here all day. Well, I've made it here to the summit, the real summit of Audubon Peak. Absolutely breathtaking views in every direction. As I mentioned, these clouds have been a real treat, and really, overall, really straightforward hike. Easy trail to follow. Little rocky at the top, like anywhere in Colorado, but highly recommend this. There's been very few people. Absolutely stunning, and I'm going to keep continuing on now and see how this next peak looks. Just following the ridge all the way down to a little saddle, and then I'm gonna head up to the next peak. But really good rock on this ridge. Views both ways. These clouds are coming so much that I'm actually starting to get sucked in here, so the views are slowly disappearing, but I kind of like hiking in the clouds. There's something kind of, like I said, mysterious about it. Feels adventurous, and yeah, absolutely cool little connector here. I think you just got to be comfortable if you're doing this hike, just knowing you're following the ridge, like, and doing some route finding, even though it's really simple, it's just the ridge, but you're not going to see cairns or anything along here. Right down below me here is the saddle, where I'm going to climb back up to Paiute Peak, and also I assume one of the routes down to the Blue Lakes there. But it's really socking in now, can barely see anything. But definitely an epic day up here, as always. I made it to the top of Paiute Peak here. I'm really glad the views opened up, because the entire way up that ridge line was completely socked in. I was unable to see anything on the valley on either side of me. Didn't get that view back of Blue Lake that I was hoping for, but luckily, as you can see, on the east side of the Continental Divide and this part of the Rockies of the Front Range, we're nice and clear. Really cool summit up here at Paiute Peak. Nobody here. Once you get past Audubon, didn't see a soul. I will say that there is a trail to Audubon, but from Audubon to here, it's just kind of scrambling on the ridge the whole way. Like I said earlier, really good rock, not bad, but definitely not as, if you're used to a trail, not maybe the place for you. I think from here, I dropped down pretty fast to the upper Blue Lake area, but I'm going to sit here, have some lunch, and enjoy these beautiful views before heading back into the clouds and getting sucked in. Well, I'm going down just in time for some of the clouds to depart. We're getting that view finally that I've been looking forward to. You can see the end of this valley is actually where my car is at. And I believe this bigger lake is Blue Lake, and the closer is something like Upper Blue Lake. So far the way down has been a little scrambly and steep, which is fun. Definitely enjoying myself. And we're gonna go down to these lakes and see if we see any fish in there, and then head back because I have some obligations later on. The rain's really moved in. I'm down here at this main blue lake, and it's absolutely stunning. There's literally a waterfall cascading into the lake behind me. There's big waterfalls from the upper to lower lake the whole way down. Absolutely gorgeous area, but with the weather coming in, I'm gonna keep moving. I've decided to try a very quick fish here. It's too beautiful not to. I missed a monster cutthroat. Just didn't set the hook gently enough. But it's good to see that the fish are in here. I think I'm gonna have to come back another time and spend some more time. Knowing that there's fish that big gets me excited. But right now the weather's coming in, the mosquitoes are coming out, so I'm gonna keep on moving after 5 more minutes of fishing. Well, that ends my fishing adventures. At least I saw some action and I know some fish are here. But today, it's time to head. I gotta truck it back to the car and get down. It's around 12:20 right now. I think I left around 7, but I have spent so much time taking photos and video just because it's been so stunning. I think you could realistically usually do this in 4 to 5 hours, this whole loop. But I'm gonna put the camera away, gonna truck it down. Thank you so much for joining me. This is such a special, beautiful place, and I can't wait to explore it some more. And I'm glad you got to see a little bit of it with me today.